These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Tuesday, February 7th, a couple days before the trade deadline, in which we'll just promo it right off the bat. We will be live for the trade deadline on the How About Them Celtics YouTube channel and Facebook channel. But
time you want to start?
Check it out.
1:30, 1 o'clock?
Yeah, 1 to 2, around that range. We'll figure out a concrete time tomorrow when you guys are listening to this on the 8th, which also is my mom's birthday. So happy birthday, Mom. Everyone say happy birthday to Mrs. Simone.
Happy birthday from How About Them Celtics to you. We wish it was our birthday so we could party too. Hey.
Mm-hmm. And also, I mean, this is just the announcements, start to the show. We have signed on, joined the Minute Media fan-sided podcast network. Is that basically how to phrase it? I think signed on, joined, etc. But yeah, we are now part of the Minute Media podcast network. So shout out to our friends over there.
It just got a little bit more handsome.
Exactly. It doesn't really change anything for us. I don't think it changes anything at all for us, except you'll probably hear some more ads in the shows, and maybe we'll, have some guests from the fan-sided Minute Media family, stuff like that. But thank you to all you for listening to make that possible. But again, not really going to change anything in terms of us. But,
the loyal listeners.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. We have a lot of fun doing this. Maybe we'll make a little bit of money here now. If not, what are you going to do? But it's definitely better than nothing.
Yes. Thank you very much.
We didn't realize we had a little bit of a bank before we switched over.
We had some stuff. I mean, if you listen to the show on audio platforms, you hear the ads from that were embedded into the middle of the show anyway. So you'll just be hearing some different ones now. So maybe you'll get some fresh ads.
The first one we do is like you like call back to the old ads. We're like, like this company we used to talk about, this one we used to talk about. No. And they're like, what the hell? Like, we told you to stop doing that.
But if anything, the listeners will get some fresh ads in their ears. So maybe it'll be more fun, a win-win, as they say. But like I said, it was my mom's birthday today. I went to Target, where all good gifts come from. We love a good Target story on this show. My mom, this doesn't come out until tomorrow anyways, so she'll know, but she also, she's not going to listen to this. I'll spade a spade. My mom's not going to listen to this. I got her a blanket, a nice, knit blanket, as well as I ordered on Amazon while in Target because I couldn't find one that I liked. I got her, she loves cows. My mom, I don't know why, like we live in Massachusetts, like it's not like we're in like a farm state or anything. She just thinks they're cute. So I got her like a little mug with a cow inside of it. Like you fill it up with tea or whatever, and as you drink it, there's this little like ceramic cow and like just waving hello. Let me find a picture. It's really cute. So I was very happy with that.
Very thoughtful.
Exactly. Thank you. I appreciate that. I tried. I think
did someone give you crap for that? Like one of your siblings was like, what kind of gift is
that?
No.
No, not at all.
You sounded very vindicated when I was like, it's nice and thoughtful.
Well, I was proud of the idea. I hadn't told anybody yet, obviously, because it was just like whatever. But let me share the screen. This is a very poor picture, poor quality, but let me see if I can share it here. This is the cow mug I got my mom for her birthday. It's just like a mug, but inside there's a little cow, right?
That is kind of cute. A little cow. Listen, you're getting robbed a little bit on the fluid ounces, but what are you gonna do?
Exactly. I think it's cute. She likes cows. I thought it'd be cool. I searched up cow mug on Amazon, and this was the first one that popped up. But
you don't want to admit that. Cut that.
Nah, it's fine. No, but like I thought it was cute. I thought it was cool. It was better than any of the ones they had at Target, so I thought it would be a nice little gift. So I'm hyped. And I mean, the ultimate sacrifice is me not going into Boston for the Sixers Celtics game.
I'm going instead.
Sam will take my place at the arena.
As I pulled in, I took the next 2 days off from work, and as I pulled in my driveway today, more or less enjoying a nice Friday. I pull in, and I kind of don't have any stairs on my house. My stairs have been.
Oh, is that removed. The video you just sent me?
Yeah, I took a video of it.
Should I share the video right here?
Yeah, you can put it on the stream.
Let me pull it up.
I called my mom. I said, there's no stairs here. Where are the stairs? So
right, here, let me pull
my
it up.
parents.
Do you want to share audio too?
Yeah, share the audio because it's just gonna be a video of me like talking.
I gotta log into Twitter.
That's fine.
My
My
Correct.
parents are
Bingo.
getting an elevator put in the house to help them carry groceries as they get older.
An elevator.
Yeah, it's gonna be like in the back. So they're doing work on the
Fancy.
house. Now I knew they were doing work on the house. I did not know that they were getting rid of the stairs. So, my mind was blown when I was like, where are the stairs? Where are the
Lewis,
stairs?
loyal listener of pregame show Lewis, you know how he always mocks me because I'm like touring apartments in Boston. He calls me rich.
Yes.
He's gonna listen to this and say, "Oh, look at Sam now too. He's getting the elevator."
Well, it's not like an elevator. I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be. I'm not really involved. I'm not involved.
I'm just messing with you.
And I probably won't use it. But I was just so shocked that my stairs were gone. Also, this elevator creating problems for me over the weekend when it was real cold. So to put this elevator in, they cut out sections.
I don't think I can share audio because I can't get it in the correct window. But let me share a video anyways. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's see. I'll pull it up here. All right. If you're watching on YouTube, which you should be, go subscribe. You can see Sam with the video.
You can see me.
Let me go forward to the part with the stairless backyard.
It's loading.
Just not loading. It's just not loading.
And if you're not on YouTube, I don't know what you're doing because I'm having a terrific, maybe the best hair day of all time.
All right, let me stop sharing so we can get it to the stairless part. Okay, here we go. It immediately loaded as soon as it stopped sharing. So if you're on YouTube, you can check it out now. But this is the stairless backyard Sam is referencing.
Yeah, I'm just like, where are my stairs?
Just
there's usually stairs there. Where are they? I mean,
that's
have
a
other ways
steep
up
drop
here.
too. Oh, I didn't realize how steep that was.
Yeah. It's a little high up.
You don't get the full depth perception when you see that.
No, you do not.
I mean,
that was why I was really surprised. I was like, all right, well,
how was your day today?
How was my day?
I said that was your day today.
Oh, that was my day.
My stairs
how was my day? My day was fine.
There you go.
But anyways,
yeah,
the weekend, cold out, real windy.
Very cold.
They're putting in this elevator, and they had to cut out sections of the basement wall. So those sections of the wall are covered up by boards. I go downstairs Saturday morning before I go running at the gym because that's the way I'm going out. It's cold, whatever. Go through the basement. The boards are blown across the basement. It is beyond freezing, and I have to put them back with my bare hands because I just anticipated going to my car. So what a start to Saturday that was.
That's tough.
And they're like crappy boards. So like I was afraid I was going to get a splinter the whole time too.
Yeah.
How the hell am I supposed to write for heavy with a splinter in my fingers? My God, that's brutal.
First world problems there.
And then
very tough.
Again, great hair day. The blow dryer, a game-changing piece of equipment.
You
Big
blow dryer guy now.
You dry your hair, and you get some of this stuff they call texture dust. You put that in. It's like powder, and your hair like stays in place. It's the craziest thing you'll ever see. I went to a friend's house, and he was like showing me it, and he literally put in his hair, like screwed around with his hands, and then like he could just like put his hair, and it would stay. And if you have longer hair or straight hair like me,
buddies?
Yeah, not somebody that's been there when you were there because he just had surgery. But you'll probably meet him. But I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. So I bought some. And if they sponsor us, I'll start talking about it on the show. Oh, it's the best. It's the best.
That's awesome. See,
I discovered the hair dryer in New York because they had one in the hotel.
And they used it.
So I've been stealing my mom's.
Smart. See, I've never had to put anything in my hair. I just kind of let it rock. Like,
yeah, I used to always do the short hair, which little tease during March, you might see some old pictures. You get to see all the different styles. But before then, yeah, I used to have the short hair. Always was short, and I just started growing it, and I kind of like it like this. So I keep it. I keep the hair.
There you go. See, I mean, up until I was like 12 or 13, I had buzz cuts. Only like I never.
Oh, me too. I like the buzz. I like the short hair. You get up, you don't have to do anything to it. You just go.
My mom would just cut my hair, buzz it off. We're good to go.
Does.
And then after that, your mom really?
My mom used to cut hair like at salons though, so it's different.
Oh, okay, I guess so. See,
not an amateur.
I just hit up Supercuts, and they give me the easy one too.
Clean cut today. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean it's been like this for a few. See, when I get my hair cut. No. When I get my hair cut, I like to go in. I say, okay, do it like I get it a little shorter than I probably want, so it like grows into that nice like what I'm looking for like a good stretch there. Because if you get your hair cut to the length that you ideally want, then it's only going to be like that for what, like a week maybe.
Yeah.
So I just go, So that's what it is.
The longer
Also,
it gets, though, the less you'll notice when it's like that. Like when it's not as long as you wanted it to be.
see, when my hair gets too long, it kind of poofs out like a mushroom, so it's just really not a good look. We can't be having it. But also before we get into the Celtics, which we are going to get into, by the way, sorry. Uh, for our loyal listeners, Landon and Lewis, I know take a particular interest in this. Not a drive-through story, but I did change up my Starbucks order today because I saw something on the board.
Oh, what is this?
I got a pistachio. That's not English. Pistachio cream cold brew. Very good. Very big fan. I am a fan. It's good.
It's tough. It's tough with those drinks like that. Not anymore. Listen, I have solved a big problem in my life.
Oh, yeah?
Now,
What's that?
for those of you that really, really listen and pay attention, I think I've mentioned being injured on some show we've done before.
At some point, yeah.
So I've been dealing with moderate injuries. So I
Mhm.
haven't been able to run as much as I'd like. And being the psycho I am, I get very anxious that I'm going to lose all progress I've made running, gain weight, whatever. So I started using one of these apps that tells you like the calories you eat. And when you like exercise, like it adds more to what you're supposed to eat for the day.
Sure.
I'm gonna say this. It's 6:40 p.m. I still have half left today.
Oh,
I
that's
still
not
have
good.
half of my day to
Go
eat.
go eat something, man. What are you doing?
No, I did. That's the thing. I've eaten. I had breakfast, I had snacks, and I had lunch. I had a late lunch. Who the hell's calling me?
Sam's getting a phone call live on air.
Who the hell is
Brad Stevens calling Sam live on the podcast. We get some intel.
Now, some of you may be wondering why there's a cut in the audio if you noticed it, and it was because I got a call and the other end said, "Hi, this is Megan with healthcare benefits. How are you?" And then I said, "Busy," and then I heard the phone click.
You answered busy and they clicked off.
Yeah, the only reason I picked up is because the call was from the same city where my job is, so I didn't know if it was. Usually, I typically am not big on the phone.
Mhm.
Hate the phone.
I don't answer phone calls unless it's
Nope.
like a number I know.
Nope, was not my
and then
phone.
I figure like I can worst case I call them back and they can leave a message. That's my thing. Always text me if you need to reach me. Text me or email me. Like it's just easier. But anyways, that's a good cut. Anyways, to go right into Celtics since we've avoided it. Let's talk briefly about the Pistons game, and then we can get into trade talk because that's gonna. Let's be honest here. That's gonna be the majority of this episode, anyways. Celtics picked up a win over the Pistons after a rough loss to the Suns, which we talked about on the last show. Did we? Right?
No,
Or
we have not done a
talked
show
about
since then. We've done a pregame.
We talked about it on pregame, so we can lump Suns in as well. I said this on pregame. If that Suns game happened at any other point in the season, it would just be one of those, they were off on the offensive end. It is what it is. It sucks. Move on. But since it came on the back or very recently after the Knicks loss, the Lakers win, which shouldn't have been a win, and those other two losses, that the Magic and the Heat as well, you think of it in that context, and it was another rough loss, like in the same 5-game stretch. But realistically speaking, the offense just has to be better. And that's a really shitty answer. Like that's something you don't want to hear, but that's all it is. They were getting good shots at the start and then they kind of fell into the same traps. It was just a rough offensive night, which was made even more rough because it was right after the Nets game, which they blew out Brooklyn and caused Kyrie to get traded, which we will also talk about later. But then the Pistons game.
That's the best, isn't it?
Yeah, right. They ended the Kyrie experiment, but then Pistons game, I'm just going to lump these all in quickly so we can get into trade talk.
Yeah.
No Jaylen Brown, no Marcus Smart, no Luke Cornett because that's important, and no Danilo Gallinari still, obviously. Celtics still pulled out a win. A little scare there in the fourth quarter.
You bet.
You're not
going to sell these game without a scare. Come on.
Of course. Celtics couldn't hold it together in the non-Jason Tatum minutes, but Sam Hauser made his shots after getting his first career NBA start. Great game from him. Derek White was absolutely phenomenal against the Pistons. Shout out to him as well. I have here on my notes. I'm just going to spit it out now as well. Celtics need Marcus Smart back for the offense. They really need him.
Oh, I agree.
And then again, like I said, non-Jason Tatum minutes have been a real problem this season. So those are something you have to figure out. So Suns game bad, Pistons game good with some asterisks. Another word, if you know the podcast, I just can't say. So yeah, thoughts, Sam. Suns and Pistons game.
Well, I'll tell you what. They won. Good.
Woo!
They won a game where going into it, I was not convinced they were going to win. Felt like a trap game. We talked about in the pregame show. Jack's dad said it was going to be a trap game. So those are the type of games I'm always keeping my eyes out for. The most disappointing in all the games typically come in a loss to a team like the Pistons. Now, Jason Tatum, disappointing for most of the game. Third quarter said, hey, man, I don't suck, remember? And scored a bunch of points, played really well for the rest of I guess the first half, I really should have said he wasn't good. Second half, he was fine. Rob Williams, excellent. Great job. Hustled, really helped hold off that Pistons push late in the game with big-time back-breaking offensive rebounds and putbacks. The type of thing you typically see teams doing to the Celtics. Getting those second chance points, annoying the hell out of me. It was nice to be on the other end of it. Got to tell you, love that. Derek White made some big shots, made a big three, also to help hold off that comeback. Besides that, Hauser, good for him getting the start. I believe that's the second time against Pistons he's played real well. Is there a pattern there? Perhaps, but it's real important for him to be able to shoot the ball and step up when they ask him to do things. So the fact that he did that against the Pistons and somewhat of a big role, like
he started.
Timmy G said this to me way back in November. If he's on the floor, he's going to be one of the top scoring options. That's the only reason why he's on the floor. So there's always some degree of pressure on him to make the shots. And he doesn't take easy shots. He doesn't really get easy shots. Some of the catch and shoots Hauser has to do are pretty crazy. Like he'll catch the ball at his feet and just go right up with it and he'll make it.
A couple of those against the Pistons were rough. Like you said, the one where he caught it at his feet, and the other one, it was the last three he made of the game because he cooled off in the second half a little bit. Horford got the ball and kind of hit him in the corner, and there was a guy right on him. He just went right up, and it went in. Like, when Hauser is on, he's one of the best shooters in the NBA. And the only issue is that he's been, slumping as of late. But, excuse me, I wrote about it for CelticsBlog this morning. Shooters are going to slump. Hauser is no exception to that rule. But when he's on, he can be a difference maker for the Celtics. And I think that's why it's tough to trade him, because there aren't, like, not that it's tough to trade him necessarily. No, I do mean that. Let me rephrase. I do think the Celtics could use some Hauser insurance in the sense of getting another wing to bring on board when he is not slumping. But trading a guy like Hauser, who is under contract, a phenomenal contract, by the way, a cheap contract for the next 2 years, and saying just dump him is just bad business, right? Because when he is on, right, he is one of the most impactful offensive players on the team because of the way he can space the floor. And I truly believe that. And he's not a negative on the defensive end, right? He struggles, right? I'm not saying he's a positive, but at the very least, he's a neutral, which is fine, right? Like I'm not out here calling him Kawhi Leonard, but he is also not Trae Young, which is important. So I don't think trading Hauser would be smart at this point in time, especially for anything that is not, any player not under contract for more than this year, right? Trading Hauser for an expiring contract, which I'm not saying has been brought up, would just be like I said, bad business, right? You have a guy under contract who at his best is an extremely impactful rotational player, was a big reason why the Celtics had the best offense in NBA history at the start of the season. Obviously, that's a facade, the phrase best offense in history. But a big reason why their offense was so successful at the start of the year because of his shot making. I don't think it's what's the word? I don't think it's a coincidence that, he goes on a little bit of a slump and the Celtics start to really struggle. I'm not saying it's the only reason, but there's definitely a correlation.
He is the personification of the team as a whole, meaning live by the three, die by the three. Kind of.
Yes, I understand what you're saying with that for sure. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Like I said, I think they need some depth there. But shout out Hauser playing great. And Derek White, I mean...
Derek White dunked on somebody yesterday.
Yeah, dude. I've been the biggest... I thought you said Durant there for a sec, but Jalen Durant, yeah. Jalen Durant, by the way. Durant's a good player.
Like, don't worry, but I know my rotation guys on the Pistons.
No, but I've been saying this all year. I know we have our squabbles. I think that's the word. Our quarrels or whatever you want to call it. I'm trying to use a fancy word here. Sound like an idiot.
I like that. Quarrels is a good word.
Thank you. With Jimmy J in the pregame chat about Derek White. Derek White's been so good this year, and he like I'm thinking up an article I want to write for CelticsBlog in the future about him. he just fills the gaps so well, right? Like if you need him to be the third guard in the rotation, he'll play off the ball, come in and play his great defense, and that's what he does. If you need him to be the top point guard in the rotation, he'll do that. You saw it against the Pistons. He'll get to the hoop, he'll drive, he'll make his floaters, he'll hit his layups, he'll draw contact, he'll play elite defense, he'll play make, like he'll do everything. He'll even rebound. He put up 10 rebounds a couple nights ago, right? If you need him to be the second guard, he'll take on a secondary role. He does whatever the Celtics need from him. And this can be our transition into trade talks. Keith Smith of CelticsBlog put out a big trade primer 2 days away from the deadline. They're 1 day away from the
Good
trade
article.
deadline when you're listening to this.
Looked through it.
Great piece. Friend of the podcast, Keith Smith.
Yes.
Said that rival teams, this is a quote from his article. Rival teams have called Boston about Derek White only to be shut down. One team said, we thought with all their guard depth that White might be available. He's not untouchable,
Idiot take by whoever that is.
He's not untouchable, but they would need more than what they gave up to get him. Sources told CelticsBlog that teams called about White included the Clippers, Mavericks, pre-Kyrie trade, Magic, and Nuggets. None of the talks got particularly close, as Boston wants win-now players and at least one first-round pick in exchange for White. So
I wonder if the Clippers
like
offered Marcus Morris. I bet they did.
I doubt it. It was probably more like Reggie Jackson and pick, which is bad, or like Robert Covington, Amir Coffey and pick, which is just like not going to come close. So it sounds like Derek White is close. Safe in trade talks, and I mean I'm happy. Like I said, I've been the biggest Derek White fan. Shout out my TD Garden buddy Bobby Kravitsky, who I chill with on the 9th floor. Whenever he brings up Derek White all defense, he gives me a little shout out because I wrote about it earlier this season. I was early in the party. I'm gonna be the first one. Like, hey, it's there.
Yep.
The receipts. He's been one of the best defenders in the league this year. His shot blocking is great, and he's been very impressive. But we can get into some trade deadline talk if you'd like.
A little bit more like from the article. Go on.
Yes. Like we said at the start of the show, we will be live for trade deadline day. Probably around 1 or 2 is when we'll go live, and we'll be live throughout the end of the trade deadline, which ends at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. In that case, we can go live at 1. Then we'll do a 2-hour stream for trade deadline double.
Well,
one.
It'll be 2+ hours, which is absolutely fine. Because there's going to be stuff.
It bleeds through. You're right.
We're going to be absolutely fine. You don't worry. You sit down. You sit down at your work desk. Slap on the old YouTube. I'll make sure my hair looks good for you. I'll be fresh out the doctors. I'll probably have something to complain about. Busy Thursday morning, day off. Jack and I going to be chatting.
And for the audio listeners, I think we should upload that as a podcast.
Yeah, we did last year. Last year's, by the way, fantastic watch. You had stuff to react to. You had the Derek White trade. You had the Tice trade. It kind of.
I wish we went live like 10 minutes earlier though, because when the Derek White trade happened,
I got stuck behind a school bus, man. I don't know what you want out of me.
Yeah, tough.
By the way, quick thing. I was getting on the highway today. Actually, this is a whole disaster. I'll quickly tell the story. I go and I take my lunch break to go get a salad at Salad Works in Providence. Fine establishment, love it. Regular there, great salad. Always get the same thing. I go to the door, signs all over the door. Cash only, internet is down. Can't go there. No one. Who's carrying cash? Nobody. Nobody is.
Me. I carry
really?
Cash. I do. Only because for very niche. I got cash for Christmas money from my grandma,
you still have it, so it shows how much you use it.
Exactly, and also at TD Garden you pay for the food in cash. They don't have a card machine, so I just
really okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
but anyways, all right.
Sorry,
I'm like, all right, have to leave, go to Chipotle, but I get on the highway. If you're from Providence, I'm getting on the highway right by.
Wait,
Providence
what's the place you tried to go to?
Salad Works.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
Okay, so I'm getting on right by Providence Place Mall. Disaster merging onto 95. So I have plenty of time to look around because I'm not going very fast. Guy in front of me, bumper sticker, says, yes, I stop at stop signs. Aren't you a rat? You know a scumbag you're going to be to stop at a stop sign? First of all, we know how the stop signs go. Everybody understands it's a yield. Now, the government's kind of afraid to make them all yields. People tell me I'm crazy when I say they are yields, but they're effectively all yields. You don't need to stop. Unless like it's obstructed by like a tree, you can look around as you're approaching.
Jeez,
all right.
I don't know. Okay.
That is the most unbelievable thing I've seen.
I'll let him
bumper
cook.
Sticker.
That's a wild bumper sticker. I'll give you that. That is a lot for me.
That's key or car stuff.
Okay, maybe don't put that into the world. Fair enough, though. That is a lot to put on a bumper sticker.
What the hell was I talking about?
I don't even know. Oh, Salad Works, the credit card. I think that was
no, that was the whole story, but I don't remember what made me think of the bumper
we were talking
sticker.
about trades. We were talking about trades, so it just really came out of nowhere.
No, there must have been something that made me think of it. I
There
don't
was
remember.
something. I can't remember.
Whatever.
Let's
Not
go
important.
into it. Do you want to talk about the Kyrie thing first? Should we should do that?
Oh, it was because we were talking about our stream.
Oh,
That's
yes,
why.
the live stream. Okay, yes. Do you want to do Celtics rumors first, or do you want to talk about the Kyrie stuff?
Let's get Kyrie out of the way, then we can dive back in, because Keith had another interesting part of the article that we can get into.
The Grant Williams part.
The Grant Williams
I
part,
do have.
which we can
I have
get
a whole
into.
thing about that. I have 10 different trade packages for Grant Williams.
Okay, good. Then that'll be fun.
A lot of prep.
All right.
That was the
so
prep I was
Kyrie,
doing for the show.
do you want to lead? Or do you want me to lead? I think the people want to hear what I have to say.
Yeah, go ahead. Hit me up.
Listen, the Kyrie thing is fantastic. Now, I teased this a little bit on the pregame stream yesterday. I did not get to be on stream Friday. I had an engagement to be at. I was not here. I know, listen, people were definitely waiting, like, what's Sam going to say? He requested a trade again.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, Rat quits on his team, really for no reason. Like, there was really no reason, unless, like, something was going on that we don't know about, for him to want out of Brooklyn.
This time?
Okay.
I know what happened this time.
What happened this time?
Well, he
they said they weren't going to pay him.
Yeah, he went to contract talks, and they said, we'll give you 1 or 2 years. He said, I want a full max,
Who the hell's giving him a full max? You got to be hitting the head with a brick.
Yeah, so he said, okay, if you're not going to sign me long-term, trade me. And they said,
okay, well, still, Rat, because who the hell's signing you
not fighting you on
long-term?
that.
You're a Rat. They don't trust you. Who's paying you money long-term? No one. Half the reason why that trade's good for Dallas is because they got off some kind of money, and if he walks, they'll have cap space. That's the benefit. So it's really a no-lose situation for Dallas unless he really pisses off Luka, which is a possibility. But he'd have to work real quick to get up to his shenanigans to piss Luka off that quick.
Well, he started some shenanigans immediately at the press conference today. Already some controversy in Dallas.
When what he said about Brooklyn.
Well, but he also, you know how Brooklyn made him apologize for his anti-Semitic remarks?
Yeah.
He deleted that Instagram post as soon as the trade went through.
All right.
Just full, like, asshole.
Well, you know what the best is? I'm pretty sure Mark Cuban's Jewish. I saw that somewhere. I don't know if it's true.
Let me Google. Mark Cuban. This is quite the thing to Google.
Well, no,
he is Jewish. Yes.
Yeah, he's Jewish. So that's good.
Love that.
Good start. Good start, Kyrie. I'm sure Cuban loves that. I'm sure he thinks it's the greatest. Yeah. But Mark Cuban's all about winning.
He is. Mark Cuban wants to win. That's got to be why. I mean, that's why he traded for Kyrie. It's just like you immediately go to Dallas and you immediately start doing this shit. It clearly shows. It clearly shows he didn't mean the apology, right? Like he didn't mean it. He just said it.
I'm not convinced a lot of these guys are meaning very many apologies.
I guess
in their defense,
that's the concerning part.
Whether he's right or wrong, if you're like forced to apologize for something, oftentimes you're really not meaning it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's right. Doesn't mean he's a good guy. Doesn't mean he's not a rat. But like, let's take a look back at one of the more more recent faux apologies. Good old Anthony Edwards there after he posted the video
yes,
talking about gay people, and then he had to apologize and he had like a big grin on his face.
Yeah, that was like, bullshit too.
Was he right to do that? No. But like you got the apology you asked for. You're making him apologize. If he doesn't mean it, he's not going to mean it.
And then that's
the Kyrie thing, they were telling him he's not going to play. Like, listen, I think Kyrie was in the wrong. Don't get it twisted.
He was absolutely in the wrong.
And I love seeing that guy get punished because he's an idiot.
Yes.
But if he's forced to apologize, you have to know there's some falsity to it.
Yeah, it's crap. My buddy's a Mavs fan who I went to grad school with.
That's right. Yeah. I remember you telling me about this guy.
Yeah, he name's Mitchell. Good guy. He was actually gonna come on the show, but he's in a meeting right now. So he can't. But he called me as soon as the trade happened. Actually, Zoe, my girlfriend, was the one who told me because I was watching TV when the trade came through. I didn't see it. She called me. She goes, "Kyrie's going to the Mavs." I said, "He's what?" And then I opened Twitter and went into a panic and wrote everything. But my buddy Mitchell calls me. He's like, what the fuck is happening right now, right? Like he's out of nowhere. As I'm getting a call during the pod too from a random California number that I'm gonna hang up
tough.
on. But he's like, I mean, like, actually, I think his first words are, "What the fuck are the Mavericks doing?" Just
Yeah,
like
he's pissed.
he understands, and I think he's. I don't want to use the word excited, but like he knows the Mavericks are going to be better now. Like
He knows there's
like
potential.
they'll be good. Yeah, but he's also
He
like
is in the early stages of Kyrie's on my team.
exactly Mitchell, also who is Jewish. He's like clearly, I
Oh
don't
boy.
like the guy, so he's not a fan of it from like a personality perspective, and I doubt Kyrie's actions today are gonna make that any better. So I don't know. It's just like
Is
from
Jaylen Brown going to go
purely
back him again?
yeah, dude, I don't even know. But purely from a basketball perspective, Kyrie is
Oh,
going to make the
man.
Mavs good. They're also looking to move Christian Wood and Tim Hardaway Jr. now for other upgrades to add like better defense, et cetera, et cetera. There's something linking them to DeAndre Ayton, which I think would be a cool trade for them. But regardless, that is whatever. They'll be fine. Kyrie's gonna make a mess of that too. I think he'll be a Laker next year. I'll put that out into the ether now. I don't think he'll be back in Dallas. So
Well, if whatever they are saying about Joe Tsai is true, that's fire. That he said
yeah, beast.
absolutely not trading him to
He
Lakers.
said he's not doing that. Yeah,
Now
that
I
came
don't
from
know
Mark
if that's
Stein too.
true or
Well, it came from
not.
Mark Stein, so I trust it.
No, I don't doubt that Joe Tsai said that. He probably told Mark Stein himself. But I don't know if that's like actually true. Like, sorry, if the Lakers like give you like the best thing ever, you'd probably take it. But
well, this is the other thing, and we can talk about this now. I think the Nets took the best package available. Like, I think that Brooklyn package the Dallas package was the best on the market.
no, they got Finney Smith, Dinwiddie, and a first and a second, and 2 seconds. Okay.
And
the Lakers
good
offered
point.
Westbrook and then the 2 firsts that everybody wants.
Yeah, I think Dallas is better because if Brooklyn is betting on this isn't going to work in Dallas, everyone sees like, oh, Luka's super young. This is 6 years away, right? Luka could be gone by then. And again, I take a lot of stuff from them because I like their opinions. Keith Smith, Trevor Lay, and the NBA front office show, they were saying like the Lakers are a huge market. The chances of them turning things around after the LeBron era in 6 years versus Dallas turning things around after Luka leaves in a few years, I'd put my money on the Lakers figuring out a way to turn it around because they can attract the free agents. They can do this. And there are all the reports of saying, Kyrie's going to bring stars to Dallas. That's why they traded for him. Like that was a big thing coming out saying they think Kyrie could help bring another star. But if this is Brooklyn's way of betting on Dallas's downfall, like I don't hate it. Plus, you get 2 rotational players. Spencer Dinwiddie is a starting point guard in the NBA. Dorian Finney-Smith is
before he's played with Kevin Durant before.
Exactly. DFS is a starting caliber player as well. There were some reports that this was that this deal was going to expand into a deal with the Raptors as well, where Dinwiddie would have been rerouted to Toronto and Fred VanVleet would have came to the Nets. So it's clear they're trying to put stuff around KD to win. And if that is the goal, and the reports from Woj saying KD doesn't necessarily want to trade right now, like Dinwiddie and DFS, there's an argument to be made that made the team better, right? Like obviously Kyrie is an all-star caliber player, but if Durant is your centerpiece and that you need to focus on defense, they got better defensively. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. DFS is a top-notch defender on a good contract. Dinwiddie, I would argue, is a better defender than Kyrie. Neither are like super plus defenders, but
he's long.
Yeah, he is long. Dinwiddie's shown the ability to play off the ball. He can shoot threes. He's shooting well this year. I think he's up near 40%. If he's not at 40%, I think maybe 38, 39%. I don't have the quick stat, but I'll quickly go into Basketball Reference. Dinwiddie's shooting 40.5%. Look at Jack knowing his stats. Like that's good. That's good package for Kyrie, especially when the Nets had no leverage, right? Like they couldn't say, oh, we'll just keep him then because you had to trade him. So I think that was probably the best year to get. Although, no, I'd take Dinwiddie, DFS, and the picks over Chris Paul and Jay Crowder.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Paul's old. Crowder hasn't played basketball in a while, so
Mm-hmm.
I think the whole Crowder thing itself to me is a crapshoot. Like
weird.
They're like flinging rumors around about this, and like people are getting excited. Like, listen, if the Celtics were involved, don't get me wrong, I'd be a little excited because I love a reunion, but like the guy hasn't played. Like how impactful is he really going to be for you right away? Probably not that impactful.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at Simmons. It's a different situation, but like Simmons showed in Brooklyn, didn't play, and then waited all summer and then finally played, and he's like, whatever. Like he's not what they thought they were getting when they traded James Harden. He's definitely not the player he was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the kind of thing you can just stop doing. Now, do I think Jay Crowder is still working and working on his game? Yeah, I don't doubt that, but it doesn't really. There's no substitute for playing in real NBA games, especially at this point in the season where these guys have all been playing together all season.
And Jay
Now,
Crowder
trades
wasn't
happen
great.
and they work out, but
and Crowder wasn't great last year either. Like
exactly,
like,
he was on the decline, and that's why he was on the bench, and that's why he's mad because he was getting put on the bench.
And everyone remembers Crowder as, the Heat Crowder, the Suns finals run Crowder. Like Crowder shot 35% from deep last year, right? Like after shooting 38 and 44.
What does Marcus Smart shoot from deep this season, Jack? Do you know? Probably about that.
I think like 33.3. So
just
a little bit below that. No, just a little bit below. So there is that. Celtics need Marcus Smart back again, by the way. I'm just gonna say it. But
yes,
okay. We talked Kyrie. KD doesn't look like he's going anywhere.
Wait. Before we how great is it the Celtics just ended that? His last ever game as a Brooklyn Net, 43-point loss at the Garden.
Phenomenal.
Just stomped, career low, plus minus.
Was it?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Minus 31, lowest of his career. See you later. Enjoy.
Now,
you left for this team. Celtics sent you packing the playoffs. You stepped unlucky. Then they swept you. Then they sent you packing for real. See you later. Bum.
Now,
enjoy.
Imagine if they have to play him in the
Fight
finals.
for the ball as you play with the fellas.
Imagine if they have to play the Mavericks in the finals.
Well, that would be the NBA's dream.
Right? Great story.
I think if you could, if you're the NBA and you could pick one finals matchup, that might be it right this second.
That might be it. Well, it also, I would also take a Warriors Celtics matchup. I think that'd be good.
A rematch they'd probably like too.
Or Celtics Lakers. They'd pick Celtics Lakers. Not that it's realistic.
Lakers would be a sweep.
Before we move on to Grant Williams trade rumors and the rest of Keith Smith's article, we have to talk about it because Stephen A. Smith said it, and that's the rule of the world. Stephen A. Smith igniting the Jaylen Brown, Kevin Durant rumors again. We don't have to spend long on it. Bottom line, I don't think Jaylen Brown's getting traded. I don't think the Celtics should trade Jaylen Brown. If the Nets are willing to entertain Jaylen Brown plus random salary filler plus a couple picks for Kevin Durant, I think you have to at least pick up the phone and talk about it. Not because I dislike Jaylen Brown or all these rumors, but because this was my thing during the summer. If it is Jaylen Brown for KD and there's no other rotation pieces involved, you consider it, because Jaylen Brown, for as good as he is, hot take, never going to be as good as Kevin Durant. He will never be what Kevin Durant is, and that's not a shot at Jaylen Brown.
Durant's like one of the best scorers ever.
Exactly.
He's literally probably top
5,
being like really like wide with this top 20 all-time players.
Top 10 all-time players. Top 50.
Well, that's I said I was being really wide with it.
Yeah,
because I really don't want to have a debate. But
my point is, as great as Jaylen Brown is, he will never be Kevin Durant, and that's not a jab at Jaylen Brown. That's a compliment to Kevin Durant. And if you're not giving up any other rotation players, that's an immediate upgrade right now. And people act like, oh, the Celtics have this 10-year championship window. Not exactly.
Well, they kind of do.
Like, they kind of do, but nothing is guaranteed. Like, there's no guarantee saying Jaylen will come back, and I think he'll resign, right?
Next couple
I
years
think he'll resign.
It is essentially the point.
But, let's not sit here and act like it wouldn't be an upgrade in talent. Kevin Durant's better than Jaylen Brown right now. But again, this is not me advocating for it, because I don't think it will happen, and I don't think the Celtics should do it unless it's a straight 1-for-1. And even then, I think they should just pick up the phone and entertain it. I'm not saying they should do it.
I will say this:
I don't think it's going to happen. It's not going to happen
with Durant. Durant has proven he can fit into a good team
anywhere.
Listen, I could have fit into the Warriors. Don't get me wrong, but seriously, when he's such a star player, like you said, probably top 10 all time, maybe. It's like you're not gonna get ridiculed for saying that.
He's a top 5 talent in NBA history. I'll put it that way.
Okay,
I think so.
I have no thoughts. I don't really.
Well,
care.
the top 10. Well, because the thing
I understand.
Is,
he's exceptional. Yes. When you're that good of a player, for you to fit in as somewhat of a cog in the machine when you join a Warriors team where you're not the best guy, and also that's a testament to Curry too, being able to adjust from being the guy and allowing Durant to come in.
Kevin Durant, by the way, not playing in the All-Star game, so there will be a replacement. Keep that in mind.
3rd year in a row, by the way, of that.
Right.
Which should,
Unfortunate for him.
if you're thinking about having him be traded to Celtics, think about that.
Injury concerns, sure, obviously.
But well, at least he's not playing in the game and then leaving your team after he's being injured for months, and then he plays in the All-Star game and then sits again like another
Right.
player.
Who are you referencing there?
Kyrie did that when he was with the Celtics.
Did he?
He was out and then he played in the All-Star game.
Oh, okay, yes.
And then he said, "KD, let's play together," and then left KD.
Nice. Smart. Yes, love that.
But seriously, if KD was to get traded to the Celtics, I don't think he would be a problem. I don't think the team would suffer per se.
Him and Tatum are cool too. So
that's what I mean. Like he probably could be like the second guy on the team, which is kind of weird to say.
Tatum, by the way, who's come out and said that him and JB have, ignored that and they're just focused on winning together, which is also a good thing to hear.
Yeah, I mean, if you're those guys, who cares? You just went to the finals. You have the best record in the NBA, even though you're really trying hard to lose it. And you're kind of rolling. You've had your hiccups and you still have the best record in the league. That's pretty good. Like, think about the amount that we've complained about the Celtics this season and had legitimate gripes. Like, we weren't just complaining to complain, and they're still the best team in the league.
Yeah, right. Right. But again, I don't think it's going to happen. It is what it is. I muted myself by accident. I think KD stays in Brooklyn. And I know you said this on the pregame show.
Yep. I was about to say it again. I was about to say it again.
Now. I kind of like the Nets. They're kind of cool
Nets
now.
Likeable. Josiah Savage. I've always liked KD. Cam Thomas is real funny, and he's scoring a lot of points. Nick Claxton's an exceptional talent, even though he said he would see the Celtics again, which is true. But
Seth Curry's
I'll remember that if they lose.
Yeah. They're likable.
Likable team. Kyrie's gone. See you later.
Mm-hmm.
Finally seeing some players leave the Eastern Conference. Let's see a couple more here. I'm getting sick of it being competitive. All of a sudden, everybody wants to try and be good when the Celtics are good. When LeBron was in the East, nobody was trying.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Then you get the LeBron people. Oh, well, that's because LeBron was in the East and they didn't want to play him. Shut up.
Except for the Raptors. They tried their best.
They tried.
Give them credit. All right.
They hit it just right. They did it as soon as he left.
Mm-hmm. Before we get into the Grant talk, quickly going to mention these 2 points. We don't have to talk about them. TPE Keith, again, of CelticsBlog. Go check out the article there. It's titled, excuse me, Boston Celtics trade intel 2 days before the deadline. Celtics trade intel 2 days before the deadline. One source told CelticsBlog, we haven't talked about a player who makes more than $6 million with Boston. They're offering picks and minor players for our low salary guys. They want to use the TPE. Keith basically saying like the Celtics don't plan on letting the TPE go unused, so it sounds like there'll be some sort of move. We'll see. Excuse me, as well as
Thursday between 1 and 3.
Please do, right at the deadline. Peyton Pritchard, Keith saying, source saying they're trying to win a title. You don't give away good depth at spots with injury histories. Boston won't get cute. All these quotes basically saying it doesn't, seem like they're going to trade Pritchard, right? Like it seems like they're going to keep.
What do you think of all that? What do you think of the Pritchard thing? Because now he's kind of come out and said he said it in a way where it's not like I hate it here. I just he's
made
saying
it clear
what we all
afterwards.
been thinking.
He said it. He made it clear afterwards. He means past the season. I think they trade him as soon as the
contract
next
changes.
count. Yeah, as soon as the contract changes. I don't think he'll be on the roster next year. I'll put it that way.
Bad. I like him.
Or past next year's deadline. I'll say maybe he'll be on the team and then they trade him by the deadline.
Okay.
But I think he'll be on the roster unless like a bigger trade comes around where they need to throw in some salary and he can be expendable. But the big one everyone is wondering about, Grant Williams trade talk, bringing a tear to Jack's eye. Not a fan of it. But from Keith at CelticsBlog, Keith Smith, friend of the show, going to say it again, legend. Most believe that Boston and Grant Williams will get a new deal done this summer, but chatter around the Celtics trading Williams is starting to grow a little louder. One source told CelticsBlog that Boston is wary about what Williams wants moving forward, both in terms of new deal and a bigger role. Grant wants a lot of money. We heard he think he's got 18 to 20 million waiting for him in free agency, and he wants to play more and probably start. Not sure either of those happen with Boston. A league source says Brad will move Williams if he can get a comparable player that's under team control for a couple more years. So it sounds like who hit me?
OG.
There you go.
Yeah.
Potentially, we shall see. But sounds like Grant Williams could potentially be on the move if they find the right deal. Which again, tear to my eye. But
that's weird to me.
I don't know. Well, because it does come down to, do you want to pay him that much, or can you trade him for players that you can, maybe it's a sign and trade or something like that. But
yeah,
I don't know.
No.
We'll see.
It makes sense with the circumstances, but from a team standpoint, it doesn't make a lot of sense. If you got OG for Grant without giving up too much more, that kind of makes sense. Just
Which
because you
doesn't work
have him.
salary wise. You have to give up other stuff, but yes.
How much? What's it? Oh, because Grant's not getting paid yet, dummy.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like these guys, like they clown on him, but they like Grant. Like that to me is important. Are you going to piss off your top
my thing
guys by
is
getting rid of Grant? If so, maybe it's
Grant
not worth it.
I think I compare it a little bit to the Pritchard situation because Grant clearly wants to start. He clearly wants a bigger role, and with how much
But
talent
he
there is,
has a good role here. He's not.
I'm not
he's
saying
not
he doesn't have a
comparable
good.
to Pritchard. And if he's really getting greedy and wants to start, sorry to cut you off. He's getting greedy.
I don't
Grant's
think so.
not starting a real good team.
I disagree. I think he can start on a playoff team.
A playoff team,
Of course, but not everybody is all about the championship. Like if you ask me right now, like you ask me as a human, say I was an NBA player, and I said you can either get paid $10 million and be the 8th man on a championship team, or get paid $20 million and be the 3rd or 4th option on a playoff team. I'd pick the playoff team, right?
You'd pick the playoff team, but in Grant's situation, if I had to guess, he's still going to get paid whatever he's trying to get paid with the Celtics. The problem,
I don't think so.
You don't think the Celtics are going to pay him? I think if the Celtics
I don't think
pay
they
him,
match
they're real
20 mil.
dumb.
I don't think they match
they'll
20
just
mil.
lose that money.
No, because I think they do a sign and trade, and I think a sign and trade, or they'll just trade him instead of paying him $20 million. I think is what will happen.
Okay, well then they're get something back for him. But
exactly, yeah.
I don't see them letting him walk for nothing. Is really the point.
That exactly, which is why I think if they don't want to pay him $20 million, there's a real possibility they could look at trades.
Do you think they should pay Grant $20 million? Without bias? I know it's tough.
I think there's two different questions to be had. I think it is, should the Celtics pay him? And like in the context of they can spend the money without it, like whatever, it doesn't matter because they can just match. Yes. Is he worth $20 million? Not in the role he's on with the Celtics. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
if
fair.
you're talking Indiana, and you say, okay, you're going to be our starter, you're going to be the 3rd or 4th scoring option on this team, and we're going to push for the playoffs. Yeah, I give that guy $20 million. If you're talking about the Celtics saying you're going to be the 7th or 8th man in our rotation, you're going to have mainly the spot up 3-point role, and you're just going to have to play good defense. I don't know if you'd pay that guy $20 million. I think Grant is capable of being a $20 million player, but I don't think he'll get the opportunity to do that in his role with the Celtics. And I think that's where a lot of this clash is, like between fans and everyone saying he's not worth that, because he's not worth that in his current role, but he can be worth that in the right role. That's my point.
And this is going to play into your point. Before people paid Marcus Smart, or when they paid Marcus Smart, we were having the same talk, and the salary cap hadn't been really elevated yet. So $20 million is more than it is going to be when Grant gets paid. That being said, Marcus Smart has proven to be worth that money. However, he's also had his role be increased.
Exactly.
And has flourished in the increased role. Grant, I'm sure he'd be fine in an increased role. But in my opinion, and I'd imagine the stats somewhat back this up, we don't really have to dive into it. When he's starting games, it hasn't been spectacular. Maybe he's not ready yet. It doesn't mean he hasn't improved. He's made improvements. They've been obvious. He drives closeouts more often. He's still getting better at that, getting comfortable with that to where he makes mistakes enough for people to get pissed. But he's adding to his game. He's still growing, and he's not done yet.
Grant's proving us wrong a little bit. In 18 games as a starter this year, Grant is averaging 10 points, 5 rebounds, almost 2 assists on 50-40 shooting, 52-42. So,
but previously, that has not been the case. His career starter numbers are not good.
Yeah, no. Before the season, he has struggled a bit.
But you have to go with the recency if you're going to pay the guy.
In 35 games before the season, it was 8.6, 4 rebounds, 1 assist on 47.5, 41 shooting. So maybe not. Maybe we're done.
I don't know.
I know what you're talking about.
Says no.
No, I agree with you. I know what you're talking about. But I have 10 trade ideas for Grant Williams. Okay. And we're going to go through, and you're going to tell me, I'll give you one. We'll talk about it. And then I'll give you the second one, and we're going to rank them. We're going to rank potential trade ideas. First one. I'm going to go from the bottom. Cleveland Cavaliers, who have been mentioned as a potential team. It would
Mobley
have to be
or bust. Move on.
No. realistically, it would probably be something like Cedi Osman, Lamar Stevens, and a pick.
Does that make you better? Probably not.
Again, we have to think of it in the context of if the Celtics aren't willing to pay $20 million, and not all of these are going to be great. These are realistic things I've looked at of teams that might have an interest in him. And the Pacers aren't on this list, I don't think, because there's really nothing financially that makes sense for both teams. But Cedi Osman, good wing player, right? Not the best defender in the world, but he's not bad. He's a solid three-point shooter. He's killed the Celtics a couple times. Lamar Stevens, hard-nosed defender on the wings. It gives you two wings.
So you're breaking Grant Williams in half.
Pretty much. And then you ideally you squeeze them for a pick, a second rounder, first rounder. It doesn't mean much to the Celtics in terms of like that actual player they could draft, but as another trade chip they could use in a different deal somewhere. Not bad. It is what it is. But again, we're gonna rank these, so this is just one of 10 options. So Cleveland Cavaliers, Cedi Osman, Lamar Stevens, and a pick. There's one. Pistons trade, something along the lines Saddiq Bey and Hamidou Diallo. Again, decent wing players. None of these are going to be ideal. There's a few up here that are like, okay, we're getting into solid players that could match Grant, but like I'm starting slow. Put it that way. I'll leave the highlights till later. Again, not bad, just wing players. If you were the Celtics, would you rather have Saddiq Bey and Hamidou Diallo or Cedi Osman, Lamar Stevens, and a pick?
Does Saddiq Bey play defense? I'm trying to think.
He's pretty average. He's like, from what I know, he's like not like spectacular, but he's not like getting.
He's not defending a Giannis. That's the problem. I don't know. I'd probably rather have that than Cleveland's trade.
Okay.
Though.
Okay, I'll put that up there. Number 8, and this is the difficult things because some of these are East rivals where you might not want to trade Grant, but that's also where you get some of the players that could probably help the Celtics. Pat Connaughton.
Now nobody loves a local guy like me.
Now, I don't know if the Bucks...
Is it just a swap?
I put a question mark because I don't know how willing the Bucks would be to give up Pat Connaughton. Maybe they throw in a second, but like he's a big part of their rotation. He's a great wing guy. And I don't know if they'd rather pay him what he makes or pay Grant what he wants. And I don't know if Grant could start, et cetera, et cetera. So there's those concerns. But if it was a swap, well, we'll put it in that context.
I like it better than the other two, but I don't think it's that great. I don't know if it's worth them doing it. I like Pat Connaughton. Really wanted them to sign him last season, went back to the Bucks. Good on him, loyal player, good for him. But I think he's a good player, makes sense for the Celtics, plays defense, could shoot threes. The problem is he's not doing what Grant does in being able to guard the bigger guys, which is really what they need. The Celtics have plenty of guys that can guard the smaller guys.
You
doesn't
do
hurt to have more, and if you're losing Grant, it's best to give him up for somebody that can somewhat replicate what he does. The 3-and-D, Pat Connaughton can do that.
The source told Keith, Brad will move Williams if he can get a comparable player that's under team control from.
That's fair. And how many years is he under contract? 2 or 3?
Pat Connaughton, he just re-signed.
That I know, but I don't think it was that long. Might even be a player option.
After this year, he's under contract for 3 more seasons with the player option in the final year. You are correct, yes. But he makes 9.4, 9.4, 9.4 flat the next 3 years. So
see, that's not bad. That's good value.
It is. All right. Number 7.
George Niang. Before we move on. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense for Milwaukee. Essentially, I'd rather have Bobby Portis than Grant, and you already have Bobby Portis. So what do you need Grant for?
Well, then you have a 4. Grant can play. Grant can play down at the 3. He can play some 4. Like you could work something out. And he's not, but anyways, I agree. It doesn't make a ton of sense to the Bucks. Now, George Niang, Matisse Thybulle, and a pick.
Is he got another local lad? Love George Niang.
My thing with this
one of the boys,
my thing with this one, Niang can play up a little bit. He's a bigger guy. He can play up at the wing, at the 4 a little bit. Matisse Thybulle can give you some defense. Philly might do it because PJ Tucker hasn't been great. He can find to fill into that role. So Grant could ideally start next to Embiid. If I had to pick somebody who I'd want to start next to Embiid, it'd probably be a Grant type player. Meanwhile, Boston gets the only issue with this is Niang and Thybulle are both on 1-year deals, so they wouldn't be able to, that's removes the long-term flexibility. But if you go into the deal, you do some tampering, which happens. Let's not talk like it doesn't. You say, okay, Niang, would you re-sign? Thybulle, would you re-sign for a decent number? You get those 2 guys back. You have a veteran in Grant's spot at the wing. You have Thybulle who can play some defensive minutes, and then like a 2nd-round pick. I don't think it's a bad package, but you'd have to get some confirmation that they'll be back for the future, which I don't know if you'd get.
I don't like that as much as Connaughton.
Okay.
Probably like that bet. I don't know. The reason I don't like it, and you mentioned this, is just because it's to the Sixers. It's a rival team.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't think the Sixers are at the level as the Celtics. I think this trade makes the Celtics worse and makes the Sixers better.
Sure.
So I wouldn't do it for that
So
reason.
would you put it above the Pistons trade though? Bay and
I would.
Jaime?
I
Okay.
would. I would.
Because the pieces are better. You're getting better pieces.
And
Back.
plus, I just think Niang is kind of funny.
He's good, dude. He makes his shots, man.
He's good. I've seen him like go off and like talk shit, which is funny. And again, he looks like he's literally Massachusetts Grant Williams. Like it's kind of funny. But in all seriousness, like we need to add another option to this.
Okay.
With all the trades. This will go on the list. I would rather not move Grant Williams knowing the risks than do that trade.
And would that be top of your list right now? Over Pat Connaughton?
The Connaughton I would like kind of do if I really thought Grant was going to leave and be a problem. So no. That'll be the line of demarcation.
Keep Grant with risks right below Pat.
Yes.
Okay.
And here's why. Because if you keep Grant, actually, I might do that above Pat for the same reason that I don't like the Philly trade.
Okay.
The Celtics are probably the best team in the East right now.
Okay.
Which essentially is, to me, the East is the game. You win the East, you're winning. I'm not convinced anybody from the West is beating them this year. I'm just not. That being said, if you think you can win a championship this year, and it seems like they do, and Wick seems like he does, go all in. That includes risking the Grant Williams thing. And I think if Grant's going to be a real pain in your ass, you're going to have options when the summer rolls around. There's no need to rush anything unless he's really, really being a pain in the ass, which is not the case. They seem to like him. There's going to be a sign trade for Grant Williams. There is. If he wants to sign
it'll
somewhere,
be out there.
They can get something back.
It'll be out there. Excuse me. They'll get something. Or
a nice, sexy looking TPE.
That's what I was going to say. They'll get something to do in the future, which it is what it is. Okay. Next up on my list. Let's see what I want to do next. I'll throw it out there. You know what's coming. OG Anunoby.
OG is above the line.
In the context of it would have to include Danilo Gallinari and Peyton Pritchard. Because that's the only. I'm not saying because of the Raptors. I'm saying because of the salary, it would have to include Peyton Pritchard and Gallinari and Justin Jackson.
If you're not watching the stream, you did not see me react.
Sam was upset. Deeply
Here's
upset.
the problem.
Yes.
I still say it's above the line.
Okay.
However, this puts you on the rat list to the whole league.
It does.
Which I don't know.
It does.
Now,
unless
the Gallinari thing's tough. He wants to be on the Celtics.
See, well, this is the only thing. And I don't think they would trade Gallinari, so I don't think this would be on the table. If they tell the Gallinari, if you decline your player option, we will sign you in free agency for the MLE. Like if you make a Ricky Rubio type deal, we will give you the same contract, just decline your player option at the end of the season, and we will bring you back. That's one thing.
That's a no-brainer. You do that in a heartbeat. And talked about this before. Can't believe more players don't do that.
Okay. I thought about this in the car because I know your take on that. What if Kyrie just did that? What if he just goes back and he makes the Nets?
Well, I think Kyrie's a rat, but it would be a smart move by him.
It'd be smart.
Right? I just can't believe players don't do that.
Then you'd have DFS Dinwiddie, and they say like, "Hey, bring me back," and then they're like, "Hey, Dallas, we'll give you Ben Simmons, in a sign-in trade."
Like one guy that should do that is Lillard.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm sick of all these guys saying they don't have help. You want help? You go get your own help. You go out on loan. You let them bring in players.
Go out on loan. Lillard doesn't say that. He doesn't ask.
No, but like, if he had more help, he'd be Curry. Not him saying that, but
sure. No, the media. I understand. All right. You want to get back on track with the Grant trades?
Yeah.
All right. So right now we'll do an update.
It's above the line. It's above the line.
You have Anunoby above the line.
Anunoby is I like it. I like it. He's long. He's somewhat big enough to guard. He can shoot the three. He's more athletic than Grant. Like I think he might be better than Grant. So it's worth it.
I think so. You have Anunoby, Keep Grant with wrists, Connaughton, George Niang, Tybal and pick, Sadiq Bey and Hamid Diallo, then Chetty Osman, Lamar Stevenson pick.
Yeah.
For context, I might have Chetty and Lamar above Sadiq and Hamid, but that's just personal opinion. We're picking at straws there. All right. Which one do I want to throw out next? All right, we'll do the Nets. I do have one from the Nets, which again, another conference rival.
It better be KD.
Seth Curry, Yuta Watanabe, and a pick.
Oh yeah, no brainer. See
you do that?
Yeah. Well, you don't really need Seth Curry, but Seth Curry's fire, and he's
expiring
good.
Expiring deal. Yuta Watanabe also an expiring deal, so that's the added
Both
context.
those guys can shoot the hell out of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe not. It's below Anunoby.
Above the line? My goal is to get you above the line with one of these. That's
I don't
my
know. I don't know if because Curry's expiring and the other guy's expiring too.
Yeah.
Essentially, you're putting yourself in the same spot than if you just kept Grant. Except Grant's probably better fit on your team.
Sure. Yeah. No, I understand.
You're putting yourself in a worse spot because you can't.
So would you put
could
it
sign and trade those guys, but you're not going to.
Below the line, but above Connaughton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'd rather have Connaughton.
Oh, okay. Because Connaughton
just because he's under contract for a while, and I think he's good. He's still good, but he's not. He's not OG good.
Understandable. All right. Let me get rid of OG from the top list. We'll go out west. Memphis Grizzlies.
Memphis. What are you getting back though?
John Conchar and Santi Aldama.
Well,
and they're two names not a lot of people know.
Yeah, see that's
but they're
that was right where I was going. I was like, well, I do know who those guys are, but
mm-hmm.
I may not know what they look like in my head. John Conchar, I know who they are.
John Conchar is a good player for the Grizzlies, averaging 23 minutes a night, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 1.5 assists. He does look like one of the fellas. I'll put it that way.
We love a guy who looks like one of the fellas.
Solid defender. And Santi Aldama is young player, averaging
one of those guys
points.
wears 46, right?
Oh God, where do I see numbers on Basketball Reference? I believe you. John Conchar does wear 46. You are correct. Yes. Santi Aldama averaging 9.5 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, both shooting around 36-37% from deep. Conchar 46. You were correct. I know you froze for a sec, so I'll give you that.
Listen. We're gonna try and pretend like I don't know who these guys are. I'm telling you what number they're wearing. Jack didn't even know that.
There you go. Both averaging around 36-37% from deep. But here's the kicker, Sam.
All right.
Let me pull this up here so I can fact check myself.
Are you sure? Oh no, I thought you were going to show me something.
No. Santi Aldama under team control for 2 more years past this one because he's still on his rookie contract. John Conchar just signed an extension with the Grizzlies. He's under contract through 2026, 2027. 2.3 this year, 2.4 next year, 6.1, 6.1, 6.1. So both very cost-controlled deals. Santi Aldama still under team contract for 2 more years past this one. This would be Memphis saying, okay, let's go get an upgrade. Let's go get a 3-and-D guy. If Anunoby becomes too expensive, we'll give up these 2 players. Context, Boston might have to throw a Peyton Pritchard in the deal if they need a sweetener or a first-round pick or something because you're getting 2 cost-controlled guys. I don't think this would be a terrible package for Greenwood.
That's above the line.
Okay. Above Anunoby?
No. It's still below OG, but it's above the line. Because
I thought that was a decent package for both teams. I'll put it that way.
It's a good trade, and there's not the factor of you're helping one of your competitors get better. Mm-hmm. And Memphis both players is a competitor, contract. Don't get me wrong, but it's going to take a lot for you to play Memphis.
Mm-hmm. And both players under contract.
Yes. And it's just infinitely more likely that you're going to play any of the other Eastern Conference teams in Memphis.
Mm-hmm. I agree. All right. Next one. Pelicans. Najee Marshall, Jackson Hayes, and a pick.
I don't know who Marshall is. So no.
He's really, I think he's one of the more underrated players. He's very good.
I don't doubt that he's solid.
He played really well against the Celtics. He's the guy who put up 17 against the Celtics.
Oh, okay. Yes.
He's averaging 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists. Not in shooting super well from deep, but he's a good, like, gritty defender. I don't know what his contract is looking like. Let me double check.
That's interesting.
Jackson Hayes isn't expiring. Najee Marshall is under contract for this year and next year, and that's it. 1.7 this year, 1.9 next year. So like minimum numbers. So
I'm keeping Grant.
Okay, where is that in your rankings?
Below Connaughton.
Below Seth and Yuta? Watanabe?
Yeah, probably.
Below Niang and Tybal and pick?
No.
Above Niang, Tybal and pick.
I think that Sixers trade really helps Sixers. Like that's why I hate it so much.
Which is fair. This is fair. Okay. I have 2 left.
All right.
And if I miss anything, feel free to let me know. And sorry I'm coughing. There's something in my throat. I'm dying.
Dude, I've had shit in my throat for a year and a half.
It's brutal. All right. Bulls. Alex Caruso.
Well, there's no risk here.
Alex Caruso and Derek Jones Jr.
I'm doing that. That's behind OG.
Above Conchar and Aldama.
Yeah, that's a good trade. Caruso fits your team.
And maybe a pick, but I don't think the Bulls would give up.
Derek Jones is an athletic freak. Like, he's not really tall enough to do it, but he'd be an interesting person to shadow Rob.
Derek Jones? He's taller than Rob, I think.
He's taller than Rob. Well, Rob's not tall.
Oh, he's 6'5". I'm wrong. Ignore me. I thought he was like 6'8". He's 6'5". You're completely right. I'm capping.
Can you get Javonte Green instead?
Yeah, actually,
Keep
maybe.
him happy.
I think Fade might do that. Yeah, you could do. Let's do Alex Caruso and Javonte instead. I think that's possible. And also Alex Caruso, by the way, who is under contract this year, and then 2 more years, 9.5.
Yeah, that's a good deal for you. If you think you're losing Grant, that's
you might even have to throw like a second in there to sweeten the deal. But let's say Caruso and Javonte. Yeah. But so is that your second best behind OG?
Yes.
Okay. And I think that might be one of your more realistic ones.
That might be sneaky better than OG just because you don't have the rat allegations coming with it.
Should I put it above?
No, because at the end of the day, if you win a title, I don't care.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, last one. This might be your least favorite because of the team, but it's, I think, one of the better packages.
It's going to be Lakers.
Heat. Miami Heat. Caleb Martin and Max Strus.
Well, I think Strus is a whiny prick. Martin kind of is quiet and does his job, and he's a good defender. And he shoots
Strus is also
an
expiring. So
yes, he is. In the heat of an interest in Grant Williams, that makes somewhat of sense.
Max Strus is an expiring. Caleb Martin, however,
helps them get better.
Caleb Martin under contract this year. Next year 6.8, and the year after 7.1.
So it's 6.8 next year and then 7.1. So you still have him for 2 more years?
2 more years after this one, yes.
That's not bad. Yeah, I think you're going to be met with the same problem when that comes around, though. You're going to have to pay him or get rid of him.
Well, he's not as young, so that could help you. He's 26 right now, so he'd be 28 by the time.
Well, then you don't have bird rights. Or maybe you do.
I don't know. I'm not a contract guru, so you probably wouldn't have the same rights. But where does that rank on your list? I assume below OG and the Caruso?
Yeah. I don't think I'm doing that. I think I'd rather have Grant, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
Really? Over Strus? And Strus is good, man. He's real good.
Strus isn't that good this year. He's shooting 34% from 3.
You think they're like third leading scorer, though? Like, I know he's not like the same.
He's doing
but like,
bad. One thing he's supposed to be good at.
He's still another wing, though. Like he's still another like he's better than Hauser. I'm sorry, like he is.
Is he better than Hauser? What you need him to do, though?
Yes.
I don't know.
Absolutely. He's more athletic. He's more athletic.
That is true.
Is it below the line though?
Yeah.
Is it above Pat Connaughton?
I'd rather have Connaughton.
Seth and Watanabe.
Actually, no. I'd rather do that than Connaughton just because you're not helping Milwaukee. Like, Miami's still like got the pieces to be a good team, but for whatever reason, they're not doing it. Now, getting Grant could certainly help them out. It would give Bam some relief and, solve the issue that everyone's been clamoring that they have, which is needing a power forward that can shoot the ball.
Yes.
But I'd rather help them than Milwaukee because Milwaukee's your biggest challenger this year. That's the one where all the debate's at.
Yeah. Did I miss any packages?
I don't know, Jack. They're your packages. I don't know.
No. I'm talking like any teams around the league you think could also have an interesting brand.
Like
I'll just go down the list quick. Like New York, I looked, didn't really think there would be anything. It'd have to be like Hartenstein and like Reddish, or Hartenstein and Quickly.
No,
It's like
nothing's
meh.
gonna be worth your while.
Atlanta, again, contracts don't really work there. You'd be looking at like nothing. There's nothing in Atlanta that you can work out. We did Chicago, Indiana. Like I said, I had to sneeze. I was gonna say I have to sneeze, but it was coming too quick. I looked at a Duarte / Daniel Tice deal, but you'd have to throw in
Who
extra
doesn't love
salary.
Daniel Tice?
Yeah, you'd have to throw in a Pritchard though, which wouldn't be worth it at that point. Toronto, I did the OG one. You could look at something. Well, I know, but you could look at like a Chris Boucher, maybe, if you wanted to throw it in there. But like,
you're trading with Toronto, you get an OG, or that's the end of it.
Orlando, I looked at, not much there. Couldn't find anything. Same with the Hornets or the Pistons. We did the Pistons actually. The Sadiq Bey, Hamid Diallo. The Nuggets were one. If you wanted to like say, hey, give me Bones Highland, but like you don't need another guard. There's no point.
No,
like he's a good young player.
This is getting ridiculous. We're done.
Bruce Brown is a name.
Well, there you go. You got me back.
Yeah. I knew I was gonna get you. I don't think the Nuggets would give him up though.
You still don't need Bruce Brown. You have Derek White.
Yeah. Well, Bruce Brown can play forward. He's a bigger guy. Like, or not a bigger guy, but he plays bigger. He plays bigger is what I'm saying. He plays forward. If Danny wants him back, I didn't mention Utah, but like Jared Vanderbilt, and say you throw him in a deal for like Vando and Kelly to match salary. Would you do that? Maybe. That would be something. Both under contract next year as well.
This is all ridiculous. We just spent 20 plus minutes talking about something that's probably not going to happen.
Well, there's a lot of smoke around it right now. I wouldn't count it out. Okay, I
think you're seeing some in the off season before you see this.
We'll see. I'm gonna just go over your list just for listeners. Number one, you only have 3 trades above the line of Keep Grant. You had OG package, which would also have to include Gallinari, Pritchard, etc. But that would put you on the rat list.
Comes with the rat allegations. Yes, it does.
Unless you have something with Gallinari, say, okay, decline your player option, we'll bring you back. And Keith made this point too, like Celtics players like see Gallinari work, and they probably wouldn't love it if they traded him.
Exactly.
Like, he's
agree with that.
Caruso and Javante.
It's a good trade.
Might even have to throw Pritchard in that deal, which I wouldn't complain about, really.
Can you hear the laptop about to take off?
No, Sam's laptop is buzzing. Last one above the line, John Conchar, Santi Aldama. Again, might have to throw Pritchard or a pick in that deal because it's a lot of value coming back from Memphis. Then the line of Grant with wrist. Then I'll run through these quick. Heat trade, Martin and Strus. Bucks trade, Pat Connaughton with a question mark because I don't think they do it. Nets trade, Seth Curry, Yuta Watanabe, both expiring though. Pelicans trades, Najee Marshall, Jackson Hayes. Sixers trade, George Niang, Matisse Thybulle in a pick. Again, both expiring. Pistons trade, Sadiq Bey, Hamid Diallo, and Cavs trade, Shetty Osman and Lamar Stevens at the bottom. So I'll put it this way. I don't hate any of them. I don't think any of them would be like bad deals, but I agree with the line where you put it. The only ones I might shove above the line, I don't hate the Heat deal. I think you're getting 2 quality rotation pieces, and obviously I don't think Martin is as good as Grant, but I think he can play a similar role. So I don't hate that deal. I sneaky don't hate the Nets deal. I just have concerns about the long term. I think Seth Curry's good. I think Watanabe's good, but again, you lose some defense. Again, sneaky don't hate the Sixers deal, but the long term concerns are there. Pat Connaughton's cool. I just don't know if I do a 1-for-1. So if you threw these trades at me and said, like which ones would you pull the trigger on? I would do OG, or I'd be hesitant because of the rat thing. So maybe I wouldn't do that. That I just don't like the idea of trading Gallo. I do Caruso and Javante. I'd really consider that. I think you got to put that up there. Conchar and Aldama, I'd consider. And then the Heat one, Martin and Strus, I consider. Those would be the main 3. Unless you definitely know Grant is saying, I want this much, I want to start, and he's going to cause problems, then you can start to dip into the rest. But I'll go with those 3 as my top. All right. We can wrap up. You want to do a couple cards before you dip on out of here?
Cards, yeah.
Let's pull them out. If you listen to the show, you know what the cards are. But for those who don't, my Uncle Dan gifted me with these beautiful Who's the Man Boston Celtics cards. We're going to do some trivia, see who the Celtics player is. We can do 3. The score is currently Sam 168, Jack 101. I passed the 3-digit barrier. No longer a shame.
That was a challenge.
It was. Sad, though. These are the ones we've done. If you're watching on YouTube, we have very few left. So we're going to have to find new games to play. I do actually have an ESPN board game with trivia on it, so maybe we could break that out, but it wouldn't be Celtics space. So we'll find something though. We'll find something. All right, 4 or 5 points. Also for the new listeners, 5. If you get it on the first clue, you get 5 points. Second, 4 points down the list. You know the drill. All right. For 5 points, selected to play in the NBA All-Star Game every year from 1971 to 1977. This is going to be a tough one for me. I don't know the 70s. I'm not going to get it unless it's 2000s. And that's just how it is. Shall we go to 4 points?
Sure. Yeah, go to 4.
Averaged 22 points per game to earn Finals MVP honors when the Celtics beat the Suns in 6 games in 76. Finals MVP for the Celtics in 76. Feel like this is something I should know, but I don't.
I know who it is.
I'm going to be deeply upset. All right, going on 3 points. How does jersey number 10 retired by the Celtics and 15 retired by the Kansas Jayhawks? Feel like that should give it away for me, but
that would have did it for me.
I'm going to put a guess out there, and at risk of making me look stupid. Is it Dennis Johnson?
No.
Shoot. JoJo White. I did know that. I knew it was a guard. I don't know why I thought DJ. When did DJ play? Was he in the 70s?
He played for Seattle in the 70s, and then he came over.
Okay. At least I'm in the correct era. All right. Unfortunate. Would I've gotten on the other ones? No, I would have gotten it. Hall of Fame in 2015, 35 years after playing. Set a Celtics record when he played in 488 consecutive games in the 70s. Those wouldn't help me. So
yeah, those like aren't helpful. The jersey one.
Number 10 was
1 point. Yeah.
What number did DJ wear?
3.
3. Okay. Now I know that. I should have known JoJo White 10. Anyways, 5 points. Next one. Graduated from USC after serving in the U.S. Navy during World War II and played professional baseball in the Brooklyn Dodgers minor league system. Whoa.
Next.
I don't know. 8-time All-Star who led the NBA in free throw percentage 7 times, including 5 straight seasons.
Was one of those guys. It's 21, 22, or 23, but I don't know who we've had already and who we haven't had.
I don't know those numbers, so I'm going to go to the next one. Inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame as a player in 76 and a coach in 2004. I don't know. Next, shall we?
Yeah.
Had an epiphany.
No, go ahead.
2 points. A member of both the NBA 25th and 50th anniversary teams whose number 21 was retired by the Celtics.
I told you it was 21, 22, or 23, but I don't know who it is. Oh, wait. Don't go on just yet.
I don't know numbers. I'm terrible at this.
I know.
I'm a bad old Celtics fan.
22 is Ed McCulley, and I'm pretty sure 23 is Frank Ramsey, and it's not those guys.
So, do you have a guess?
I don't know who the last number is.
All right. 4-time NBA champion with the Celtics, who teamed with Bob Cousy to form one of the most highly regarded backcourts in NBA history.
I don't know.
Bill Sharman.
I'm glad it wasn't the other 2 guys that I knew who it was.
Yeah. If it was one of them, you'd be pissed. I wouldn't have gotten that. I'm a bad old Celtics fan. We're 23. We're not gonna get those old ones. Unfortunate. All right. Next one. Served as an assistant coach for the Celtics from 93 to 97. Yeah. I'm going right to 4 points, Sam. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go to 4 points.
Acquired by the Celtics in a 1983 trade with the Phoenix Suns. I'm going to 3 points. Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
5-time NBA All-Star who earned NBA championship rings with the Celtics in the 84 and 86. I don't know who this is. I have one guess, but I think it's stupid, so I'm not going to guess it, and I'm going to be bad later, but I'm not guessing. Shall I go next?
Hold on.
Wait.
I don't know.
I do have a guess. I'm going to look like an idiot, but I'm going to guess again.
Oh, I'm going to get out of the chat.
Let me know what I can go.
I'm out.
Okay. Named MVP of the 79 finals while playing for the Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah, it's DJ.
I got it.
Yeah, you got it.
I did it.
When you guessed, I was going to guess it, but I was like, I'm not positive.
Oh, I'm so hyped. I
think that's the first one you've gotten before me.
I was going to say, this might be one of the first ones I've gotten more points than Sam on. I'm very excited.
I forgot he played for Phoenix.
Made a last-second layup to beat the Pistons in Game 5 to 87 in ECF after Larry Bird intercepted an inbound pass from Isaiah Thomas. Yeah.
Yep.
I knew he played for Phoenix. briefly thought it was Danny Ainge because I know he played for Phoenix, but
He played for them after, drafted by the Celtics.
Yeah. Yes, I got DJ. You want to do 2 more? Let's make it 5.
Yeah.
I'm feeling hot. Don't let me get hot. Let me cook.
It was the 84 and 86 clue when you got it. I was thinking DJ, but I wasn't positive because I was like,
Well, you want to know why I got it? Because I remember we just had the conversation. You were like, you started in the Sonics of the 70s, then you played for the Celtics in the 80s. I was like, oh, wait a second. I know the Suns in the 80s. All right. 5 points. Born in Wilmington, North Carolina, and played basketball at North Carolina Central University. I don't know. Can I go to next? I have no idea.
You can go on, but I'm going to be real pissed if it's who I think it is. I'm just not positive we already had this person.
Scored 51 points for the Celtics in an October 29th game in 1965 against the Pistons.
Very glad I did not guess.
Who do you think it was?
65. 51 points.
I have no idea, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Averaged 20 points per game or better for 4 straight seasons and was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in 1984. Got nothing.
I'm starting to like the fact that we had so many cards. I don't remember if we had certain players.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
You
gonna put a guess in?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna be really mad if we already had this player there.
I'll go to 2 points. Won 10 NBA titles as a member of the Celtics from 57 to 69. I don't know. One of 3 Celtics to win 8 consecutive championships from 59 to 66. I don't know. It is Mr. Sam Jones.
All right. I got it.
3 points, right?
Yep.
All right, last one. Last one here for me. Again, bad Celtics fan. I'm still riding the high of that Dennis Johnson guess. I am very excited. Yeah, all right. Last one of the day. Born in the Dominican Republic on June 3rd, 1986.
I know who it is.
I know. Is it Big Al? Is that your guess? Big Al Horford, and we are both correct. What a way to end it. 5 points for both the fellas out here. Like I said, if it is a recent player, I will probably know. We'll read the rest of the clues. Big man who started all 208 games for the Celtics from 16 to 19 after signing as a free agent. 2018 playoff series against the Bucks.
He never got hurt during that time. Wow.
Yeah, well, he started all 208 games he played for the Celtics. So I assume.
Okay.
Every game, but he started them. 2018 playoff series against the Bucks, scored 24 points with 12 rebounds in game 1 and 26 points, 8 rebounds in game 7. Both Celtics wins. Pair of NCAA championships with the Florida Gators in 06 and 07. Named the All-Star team 4 times in his first NBA seasons, all spent with the Hawks. So there you go. Decent day for Jack. I'm hyped. I know you got some of them too, but I am excited.
You only lost by however many.
Whoa, come on. We don't have to talk about that. I'm waiting for the day I get one you don't, but I don't think that one will come. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Appreciate y'all for listening. I think that's it. Anything else you want to talk about? I think we covered mostly everything.
If you're looking to go to a Celtics game or other event, use SeatGeek. Use promo code HBTC to save $20 on your first purchase. Let us help you see what you want to see.
Yes. With our luck, in the time that this takes to come out, you'll hear this tomorrow morning as we're recording. There's going to be a trade. Something will happen with our luck, but it's okay. We'll be live on deadline day 1:30 around that time. Keep an eye out on YouTube. We'll put out a graphic so you'll know what time. And yeah, my only plug, like always, obviously Jackson on NBA, but Sam will say that subscribe to the YouTube. How about them Celtics? We appreciate you all. Make sure to hit that sub button. Keep showing love on the podcast. We appreciate y'all in the comments. And the pregame show is 30 minutes before every Celtics game. So I'll let Sam wrap it up.
Yes, thank you very much for listening or watching. If you're watching, you're on YouTube. You had the privilege of seeing my great hair day, and you can see the lovely background that Jack has put together for us.
What about my hair day? Come on.
Well, your hair always looks the same.
Is that a compliment? I'll take it as a compliment.
Your hairstyle. Your hair's short.
Thank you. I'll take it as a compliment.
Just not a lot for you to do with it.
Hey, well, let me take it as a compliment. My hair.
You dye your hair, then we'll say your hair looks different. But
all right.
Again, if you're on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, comment, tell us about the hair. If you're not on YouTube, what'd you say?
I said, let us know whose hair looks better.
Yes. If you're not on YouTube, make sure you follow us on whatever platform it is that you're listening on. You'll definitely not regret that. You'll get all the podcasts as soon as they drop right to your Apple or Spotify or Red Circle.
Shout out to our new friends at Minute Media.
if you want more of us, follow us. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook at How About Them C's. You'll get all the updates on streams we're doing. The streams will be live at those places if it's possible. Don't know if it is on Insta. I feel like it should be on Instagram, but I don't know.
We can't. I don't think we can do lives on Instagram.
It doesn't let us through StreamYard. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? But make sure you follow us there. Follow Jack at Jack Simone NBA. He's doing all kinds of hard work. CelticsBlog, Heavy. You can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA. I'm doing work at Heavy. Read all our articles. Get us a little bit of clicks there. That's it for us. Bye.
Taco. Come on.
Taco's having some fun here.